Hello everybody, I'm Rusty. I want to welcome you to Island Breeze Tropicals. So today we're going to be asking the question, can this bromeliad be saved? So you know what? The sun is shining, maybe a bit too much on that plant, and the island breeze is blowing. You know, it's time that you and I got growing. Come on, let's have some fun. And let's see if we can bring this bromeliad back. And this is an extreme example of a lack of water in a bromeliad. This is a neoregelia of some sort that was put in a hanging basket, and guess what? The watering never got to it. It fell short of where this bromeliad was hanging. So guys, this may end up being an exercise in futility. This poor bromeliad is really far gone. I'm not sure whether we can bring this back or not, but I'm going to give it a try and we'll see how it works or doesn't. So in our last episode, I showed you where this bromeliad had been actually placed under a table in the shade house, didn't get any water, and is really almost too far gone. And I want to find out whether or not I can bring this back by rehydrating it. Now, I want to stress what I'm going to do here is not what you want to do to a bromeliad, well, like this, that's in good shape. So what I'm going to do to try and rehydrate this plant is I'm going to dunk it. We're going to clean it up first, and then I'm going to completely immerse this bromeliad. Now, I'm going to tell you something. You never should do that with a healthy bromeliad, but this is a make or break case. If I don't do something, the plant's going to die. And one of the reasons is that the cupping on the leaves and the desiccation here, I don't think can be reversed by ordinary watering. So what I'm going to do, again, only on a plant like this, is I'm going to completely immerse this. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean this up, and then let's see what we can do. So okay guys, I have cleaned this up. Yeah, I did it off camera. You know, I think watching someone do a mundane task on a video is akin to watching one's beard or mustache grow. So I spared you that, but this is all cleaned up. And the reason that I cleaned this bromeliad up is that even though it's really damaged, I want to see if it's going to be getting worse. So, is there anything that we can do about this? Well, I'm going to give it a try, and at this point, I don't know if I'm going to be successful or not, but I'm going to show you what I think we can do. Okay, now that our plant is all cleaned up, here's the part that may help it or may not. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to take our completely desiccated bromeliad, and I am going to completely immerse this in water. Okay, so what we're going to do is completely immerse this bromeliad for 5 minutes, and let's hit the timer. And at the end of 5 minutes, we're going to pull it out of the bucket, and then we're going to water it pretty much twice a day if I can get that done. Maybe I'm going to put it in the shade house where I've got some automatic watering. So at the end of 5 minutes, we're going to pull it out of there. Okay, so the countdown is almost over, and now we're nearing the time where we're going to pull our bromeliad out of the water, and then we're going to give it some extra water every day and see whether or not it will work. Okay, well, a little bit of full disclosure here, guys. Water is 8 pounds per gallon, and this is a 5-gallon bucket, and I don't really want to put 40 pounds of weight on my display table here. So I actually did this off camera, and we're going to see how this works. I am going to put this where it does get daily watering out in the tangle. I'm not really sure if this is going to work or not. And, you know, we got to be honest about this. Is this plant worth it? Well, if it's a valuable plant and you spend a lot of money for it, I would say yes. I don't like throwing away any plant, but anyway, this is what we're going to do. So we have immersed this for only 5 minutes. By the way, I have immersed plants for different reasons, sometimes treating for insects, and I have immersed them for as long as 15 minutes. Healthy plants with no ill effect. But again, guys, I don't recommend that you do this to a healthy bromeliad. This is a make or break case, and we'll see whether it makes it or breaks it. So this is our unnamed Neo, and this is 1 week from when we first immersed this plant, and I have to say I do see an improvement. Now, you know, there were a bunch of rosettes on here, and some were so dried out they didn't make it. And there's one right down there, and that looks marginal. But if you take a look at some of these other ones, sorry for the noise, if you take a look at some of these other ones, they are clearly rehydrating. If we take a look at these two, there is a big difference. Why don't we take a look at what this used to look like and see if there really is a difference. Okay, well, you know, we didn't do a split screen. I have an editor that has its limitations. I'm happy with it, but I didn't do a split screen. But guys, you could clearly see that this plant was in a lot worse shape 1 week ago than it is right now. Okay, so here's what we've done as a recap. We took this unnamed Neo and we completely immersed it for about 10 minutes, and then it has been watered every day, and that has been a week, 7 days, and it is showing some improvement. So why don't we go and put it back where it's going to get some water, and we'll see what this looks like, oh, how about in 5 or 6 days. Well, okay guys, it's been a week since the last shot, and this is our Neoregelia. I'm going to do a close-up. So I think you can see that the rosettes in this plant really have rehydrated. Now again, this is 2 weeks after being dunked. Remember that we completely immersed this plant. And is it a specimen plant? No, it's not. But I'll tell you, if this were a valuable plant and I wanted to propagate this by separating the pups, I think we can do that. Now, I think you can see there was some water. Watch, water's pouring out, and that means that it's holding water in the rosette, which is what we want. So it means that as long as we don't abuse this poor Neoregelia the way that it was, I think we're going to be able to keep this plant and propagate it. Okay, so why don't we recap what we did. We had a plant that was absolutely, totally, almost gone. And what we did was we rehydrated it by actually immersing it in a bucket of water and then putting it someplace where every day it could get water. So it does work. Now again, I want to stress this. You don't want to do it on healthy plants because there's absolutely no need to do that. If you have a bromeliad though, that you really want to propagate, or you want to try to rehydrate it, then it's worth the effort. So no matter where you are, I hope your sun is shining. I hope you have an island breeze blowing. I know that you and I need to keep growing and have lots of fun. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.